We're talking this morning with Dr. Alyssa Chu, a leading researcher in the field of sleep studies. She's recently published a book on sleep and is here to talk with us about it and the role of sleep in our lives. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Chu.
Great to be here.
So let's start off by talking generally about the connection between sleep and well-being. Just how important is sleep, and how much do we really need?
Getting enough sleep is essential. It's just as important as eating well and watching your weight. Most adults should be getting roughly 8 hours of sleep a night. Teenagers and those in their early 20s often need 9 to 10 hours. It's interesting to note that teenagers tend to get sleepy later at night, so, of course, they want to wake up later the next day. Unfortunately, this kind of routine doesn't work well with most school schedules, and so you end up seeing a lot of sleepy kids in class.
What are some of the risks of not getting enough sleep?
There are many. Studies have shown, for example, that people who don't get enough sleep are at risk for gaining weight, in part because a lack of sleep causes us to be hungrier. One study suggests that people who only get 4 hours of sleep a night have more than a 70% chance of gaining weight. Sleep deprivation also leads to changes in mood. Think about how cranky you are when you don't get enough rest. Studies have shown that something like 1 in 5 adults suffers from sleep deprivation. That's a lot of people in a bad mood. Imagine their behavior in the office, classroom, or on the road. We know, too, that unless we get enough REM sleep each day, we tend to be easily distracted and have a hard time staying mentally alert. The dangers of this are pretty obvious. Studies have shown that driving while sleepy, for example, causes over 100,000 accidents a year in the U.S. alone. We really do need those 7 to 8 hours a night. Otherwise, we can't respond as quickly as we need to.
I've heard that sleep also plays an important part in learning and memory. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Recent studies suggest that one of sleep's most important functions is to boost brain power, specifically by reinforcing things we've learned and transferring that information to long-term memory. Let me see if I can explain with an example. Think of your brain as an email inbox. You get lots of messages every day, right? Some of those messages are important, so you save them. Other email messages aren't really important to you, so you delete them, which makes room in your inbox. In many ways, this is the same kind of process that your brain is going through while you're asleep. Certain information is being saved, and other information is being forgotten. And this is why getting enough sleep is so important. When you're rested, you're not only able to remember what you learned yesterday, you're also able to take in and process new information you'll learn today. Provided that you sleep well and get the rest you need, you should be able to easily learn and recall relevant information.
Some people think that having a cup of strong coffee or an energy drink can help.
Sure they can, but not in the long term. Unfortunately, there's just no substitute for sleep. And in fact, relying on too much caffeine to keep you awake during the day can actually prevent you from falling asleep at night when you're trying to.
So, in addition to caffeine, what other kinds of things cause people to lose sleep?
A lot of things can disrupt our sleep. Noise or bright light, for example. Then there are bad habits, like watching TV or movies in bed. You definitely shouldn't do these things at night in your bedroom. Otherwise, you'll have difficulty falling asleep. Some people think that watching TV or a movie in bed will relax you, but actually, it has the opposite effect. It makes you more alert. All that said, one of the main causes of sleeplessness in most adults is worry. You know, having something on your mind before you go to sleep. It can cause people to have difficulty falling asleep, to have bad dreams, or to wake up several times at night.